What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to HTF Bets, Season 7, Episode 2. My name is Andrew Montana, and we have a great show in store for you guys today. We've got 2 football segments out of the 3 in total because, of course, Tyler Brownrigg is our producer. We're going to start off with HTF Fantasy League featuring Tyler Brownrigg himself, which I'm really excited for. After that, Cameron Forcier is coming on to help us talk UFC 293. That's going to be an interesting one. And we're going to finish it off with Surefire Picks of the Week. And none of us made any money last week, so you know, when you see this face, you're losing your money in the right place. We'll be right back after a quick commercial break. HTF Bets starts right now. Welcome back. Thank you guys for sticking with us. With me, as always, Phil Powell, Ezra Hines. I'm so sorry, bro. I've just been looking at the roster, and Isaiah's team is just so bad. But Ezra, how are you feeling today?
This is a cry for help. My fantasy team is struggling. Please help me.
Yeah, it really is. And Phil, how about yourself?
I'm doing great. You know, I'm upset I'm not in the top 5, but hey, it's not how you start the race, it's how you finish the race.
At least you're not Ezra. And speaking of top 5, we got Mr. Top 1 in both rankings that we're going to be looking at, Tyler Brownrigg and our producer. How are you doing today, Tyler?
I'm doing great. I'm excited to be in front of the camera for bets this time around. And I'm excited to talk about my fantasy team that I was very pleasantly surprised is ranked so high.
Yeah, so one thing you know about Tyler is that he'll hold things over your head, whether it's him being a day older than me or the fact that he's ranked first in just every category, which I'm sure isn't going to last, right?
I'm the best.
No. So we're going to start off with ESPN's final standing projections of our league. Let's start off with number 5. That's going to be myself, Young Web Courses. We love that name. Everyone loves that name, right?
Yeah, I actually do. Okay.
I don't mind it.
You sound like an off-brand SoundCloud rapper. I mean that in the best way possible.
I understand. No, my thing in middle school was Young Manage Back was a whole other thing. But my team is being led off by Justin Jefferson. I was lucky enough to get the number 1 pick. I'm also accompanying him with Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, James Conner, and Deontay Johnson. Talk.
I just wanted to make sure y'all heard that right. Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson, who both have the same bye week in bye week 13.
Week 13. I think it's Justin Jefferson, Lamar Jackson, and Josh Allen all have week 13 buys.
I need to make sure and check that I have you week 13 because that is going to be the
It's done.
easiest
It's done.
I believe it's Dom, yes.
It's done. Yeah. But Tyler, I want to ask you, what do you think of how my team is looking as of now? Because I'm planning on changing things around, but just as of now.
Your team all around it's a good roster, but obviously the big thing is you taking Josh Allen and Lamar with back-to-back picks.
I love Lamar so much.
You have monopolized the quarterback market by having 2 of the top 5 QBs on your team.
He understands.
So it's pretty easy to predict that you're going to try and make a big trade somewhere down the line to try and boost your team to make that playoff push near the end of the season.
Of course. And speaking of big trade, we're going to move on to Mr. Camden Mowry. My armpits stink. Of course, his team is led by Kyle Pitts. He's also got Devontae Adams, A.J. Brown, and Aaron Jones. He's got a handful of running. Phil, how do you think he's going to pan out the rest of the season?
Honestly, so Kyle Pitts last year, of course, was a disappointment for everybody, including me. I released him. I'm sorry. I didn't even trade for somebody. I released him. Devontae Adams will be definitely a key player for his team. When it comes to Kyle Pitts, though, I mean, he does have Desmond Ridder, and also who on the Falcons is also Bijan Robinson. I'm sorry. Which I also believe he would take most of the carries.
He was
honestly.
8th. He was taking 8th.
He was taking 8th.
Yeah.
So yeah, Kyle Pitts' numbers will definitely go up from last year, but they still won't be at the elite tight end level. So I mean, is he going to be a key player? I mean, if you need a tight end, yeah, but I wouldn't taking him.
Dalton Schultz.
I got Dalton Schultz.
Yeah. No, I have him.
Oh, I'm talking about another league.
Goofy.
Yeah. But yeah, honestly, I think Kyle Pitts is probably. I'll take him out of the top, all the tight ends. I'll put him probably at like 8th or 9th. To me, that's me personally.
And Ezra, I'm going to ask you: out of Devontae Adams and A.J. Brown, Devontae averaging more fantasy points, or at least projected to, versus A.J. Brown being in a better offensive position with a more reliable quarterback. If you were to trade for Camden out of those 2 wide receivers, who would you want out of them 2?
100% Devontae.
Okay.
We're talking about A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown's looking to get – A.J. Brown just had probably the ceiling of his career last season. Like, that was probably the best we'll see of A.J. Brown. He's probably going to do a little bit worse. I'm not saying he's going to go, like, way, way, way bad, but, like, he's going to take it down just a smidge. And also, he does have Devonta Smith playing on the other side, who is looking like he can definitely compete for wide receiver 1. And of course, you have Jalen Hurts as your quarterback. Jalen Hurts loves to throw the ball, but he also loves to run the ball a lot, so he might not get as many targets this season. So I would say I'm taking Devontae Adams
careful
first.
about that. You know, there was the same similar situation when it was Antonio Brown, Juju Smith-Schuster. Everybody thought Juju could have been number 1. But as soon as Antonio Brown left, Juju could not fill them shoes. So A.J. Brown, I feel like is helping Devontae Smith game big time.
Devontae Smith was there before A.J. Brown, though, and he was playing really, really well. A.J. Brown obviously was just a better wide receiver, so he's starting to get more targets. But in this case, Devontae Adams is quite literally going to get every target on the Raiders because they don't even have Darren Waller anymore. So that's easy. That's
with that being said, I'll just move into third place real quick. This one caught us all by surprise, and Tyler, I'm going to get your opinions on this, but Lexi's losing lineup, she auto-drafted, if I'm not mistaken, the entire
She
time.
auto-drafted every single pick.
Doesn't count.
Tyler, I'm going to pitch this one to you. Lexi's currently sitting at third, right? Just how it is, sure, whatever, we'll take it. Where do you think she's going to be at the end of the season?
So her team is very interesting because, again, she auto-drafted. So what that does is it just drafts best player available, with her best player being Travis Kelce, who is
injured,
maybe might not play tonight. We will see. But an auto-drafted team, they always have these great talented players that we see, but the issue is depth. If Travis Kelce gets injured long-term or more of her running backs, I would be concerned if I was Lexi. You have a great piece in Travis Kelce that you can trade if you need to answer that depth problem.
I'll take him.
You
If
shouldn't trade him, but
if your season is like tanking and it's just going awful,
you have a good asset, yeah.
So I'm concerned with that. So I think this third projection is a little generous from ESPN's standpoint.
Yeah, and
but
Tyler,
okay.
I'll keep it on your side real quick. Someone else who's currently sitting at second place, who I think could take it the whole way, whatever. Ty Patton, team name Monkey D. Leave it at that. He's currently sitting at second. Tyler, considering his experience in football and in fantasy and just overall knowledge of the sport, do you think Ty has the potential to stay in the top 3 throughout the entirety of the season?
I would say for certain Ty is the biggest fantasy mind that I know. I remember last year he had this notebook of just pages of all these fantasy stats.
I remember that.
And his draft was super underrated in my opinion. He had a lot of great value picks. Though my biggest concern is with his first-round pick, taking the rookie Bijan Robinson. Now, it is a bit of an unknown. Now, of course, the Falcons, they are a run-first team. But I'm worried. Will Tyler Algier be taking away some of those goal line touches? He won't be getting his touchdowns. I think that maybe we're giving a little too much credit to Bijan. Now, of course, I'm a little biased. He is a Texas player. I hate Texas. But I remember a few years ago, Clyde Edwards-Helaire got a lot of the same hype. And I don't think it'll be that kind of bust, but I'm just cautiously optimistic, I would say.
Yeah, and Tyler, well, Texas hates you as well. And now that we're talking about Tyler,
Boomer Sooner, baby.
number 1 projected, actually in standings and in just draft grades overall, is Tyler Brownrigg. But I'm not going to let you talk about it because we're not going to have you gas up yourself on the show. That's not what this is about.
Not.
Ezra, I'm going to kick it to yourself. Saquon Solo, the name of his team, obviously was Saquon Barkley and Patrick Mahomes. What do you think of his team?
I can't remember what pick Tyler had in the draft. What pick did you have?
I had the 12th overall
The
pick.
12th pick, getting Saquon Barkley at the 12th pick is very, very, very good value. I have to admit it, unfortunately. And also, of course, getting best quarterback in the league does also help very well. I also noticed he had Mark Andrews on his team. He also has a couple sleeper players, Isaiah Pacheco, Brendan Ayuk. Deion Jackson's going to be getting a lot of reps for the Colts this season.
I love this. This is great. They're just singing my praises.
All right, I can
over
stop
there.
whenever you want. No, I'm just,
No, yeah, let's actually go to the other side of the coin with last place. I don't know if Isaiah knows, but I mean, I mentioned it before. CDs, TDs, and he doesn't even have CeeDee Lamb, just ticks me off. He's got Nick Chubb, Josh Jacobs, T. Higgins, Sam Howell, and also Jonathan Taylor, but he's hurt. He's got DJ Shark. I like that name, Junior. He's hurt. And Desmond Riddler, who might as well be hurt.
Riddler.
Yeah, and just to go over ESPN's draft grades of just how we did, Tyler's number 1.
we don't need to talk
No
about
We
it.
don't need to talk
surprise
about it. Take a seat,
there.
buddy. Take a seat.
Yeah,
Should be number 2, but
Maddie
Okay.
Glass, team name Joe Buck yourself, sitting at
Hope
second.
she's proud of that one.
Mason Meowers, you know who that is, sitting at third. 4th place is Camden. My armpits stink. We love that. And then 5th place, yours truly, Young Web Courses. And actually last in ESPN grades.
We don't need to talk about it.
We should, we can extend the show.
I had the last pick in the draft. I got every pick.
And everyone
I wanted
took your
taken from me.
players. Boo
Yes,
hoo.
correct.
So
Maddie
sad.
He looked like Ken
No,
Dorsey.
Maddie has a full team of my players by far.
And
Like
she's
very
there's,
true.
I wanted Jahan Dotson. I wanted Brian Robinson. Those are all like, it annoys me. It annoys me so much.
Yeah, Ezra's had a rough weekend to say the least, but
Yeah.
we'll be right back with segment 2, UFC 293, to see who is going to have a rough weekend out of a couple fighters. We'll be right back.
Welcome to HTF Hot Takes. I'm Johnny Jackson. We've got Emily Aaron to my right and Maluka Costa to my left.
Hello and welcome to our segment of Hot Ones. I'm here with Noah Kemper and Grant
Wheeler.
Yep, I knew that. Grant Wheeler.
Listen, I'm a Bulls fan, but I just can't ever argue against LeBron. I watched him my whole life.
I've been going back and forth with this debate for a long time. It's got to be Michael Jordan.
Whatever she wanted. I would wake up in a maid costume for Doja Cat.
Brutal.
Jeffrey Laux, no question.
Richie, I would give it to Richie.
It is not Richie. It is not Richie.
No, it's Jeff.
Richie's pronouns are he, they, because he cannot be him.
What?
Oh, wait a second.
I'm gonna have to also agree and say Jeff. He always is spiffy.
It might be Cameron. Cameron's had some good fits.
Out of the women, Norelli always dresses really, really cute.
Brother. That went so awful.
It's basketball.
College football, I think, is the best sport to watch. If you don't like soccer, it's because you suck at it.
I think college football is the best.
Thanks for watching.
Welcome back. Thank you guys once again for sticking with us. Segment 2, UFC 293, going on this weekend, Saturday, September 9th in Sydney, Australia. We're going, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
we're
gonna
going.
be there tomorrow.
yeah.
I'll be there tomorrow.
We'll be there soon. Actually, foreshadowing HTF Worldwide. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. If not, just stay tuned. But Mr. Cameron Forcier, I want to introduce him real quick. Cameron, how you doing?
I'm doing good. 2K came out today. I'm probably not going to play that garbage game. It's my boy Nolan's birthday, just off camera. You know,
Happy
a little
birthday,
something.
Nolan.
Happy
Hey,
birthday, Nolan. We
I
didn't know
promise
that.
I
We
give
did
him a
not
little
know
shout
that.
out.
We have to
and
do
then
some
I'm doing
embarrassing
good.
thing from after. But yeah, we're going to kick you right into our first heavyweight matchup, looking at Tai Bam Bam Tuivasa with a 15-5 record, going up against Drago, named after
Drago.
Drago. Named after, I love that name. Alexander Volkov. Ezra, I'm going to start off with you. What are your thoughts on this fight?
I'm not a fan of the betting lines. I think they are really, really screwing over Tai Tuivasa here. He's at home right now. You got to realize that. And he's also a knockout artist that loves to fight against other strikers. So when you put him up against a guy that's really like Muay Thai or like super wrestling based, he's going to struggle a little bit. That's why he struggled against guys like Cyril Gane. But you put him against Alexander Volkov, I think he's going to have a lot of fun trading back and forth with this. Like the betting lines right now sits at Volkov is a minus 245. Well, actually, currently it's minus 225, and then Tai Tuivasa is at a plus 185. Yeah. If I am you, I am slamming money on that bet right now.
Taking them odds.
Like that is by
you too,
far.
Yeah, I'll take them odds. Yeah,
Elaborate for me,
By
please.
far.
Cause watching his fights, I'm sorry, he have a signature move to me. What he'll do is he'll sweep the leg and he'll come with a strong right hand. So yeah, I really think I would definitely take these odds. 185, is definitely disrespectful. But I feel like this fight remind me of Andy Ruiz and Anthony Joshua. I know. I
wouldn't say
it's kind of comparison because because like, come on, Alexander Volkov. He's tall, slender. He's
he's
definitely
6'7".
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
Long reach,
definitely longer reach.
tall guy,
and but you used to look at Andy Ruiz at the time. Out of shape dude, boxer. But hey, he pulled off the upset. So yeah, Tai Tuivasa would definitely pull off the upset. I would take the odds.
You're saying
he
definitely?
I got Volkov winning. I'll
okay.
be the only person who doesn't agree with them too.
I'll go
I
with
know
you, Cameron.
what
I'll go
Andrew's
with you.
doing. And yeah, who you got, Andrew?
I'm just going Volkov because I'm not super big into UFC, so I'm just kind of following the odds. But Volkov has a 5-inch height advantage, 5-inch reach advantage, and I'm going to stop there. He is, however, only, 8 pounds lighter than Tai?
Yeah, it's like Ty's a big guy.
He looks so is
he's a big
Drago.
guy.
He looks. No, this is the thing though. Ty looks short on camera. He's 6'2".
Yeah,
I promise
yeah,
you.
that's right.
He's a bigger guy. It's just the height that's really gonna level him out. But he's dirty boxing. He loves to fight on the inside. Like he's very good with these types of fighters. So I definitely would put some money on Ty.
And Cameron, I'll kick it to you real quick. Based on different fighting styles, of course, with Tai being more of a just throws his weight around, you got to watch out for his elbows too. Whereas Drago is more he's stronger strong, he's agile, and he has a 62% significant strike accuracy, which is the highest that we're going to talk about today overall. Who do you think has the better fight advantage going into this match?
I mean, personally, like I said, I have Volkov beating Tuivasa. I just think that Tuivasa hasn't, I want to say he hasn't fought anybody, because obviously his last 3 fights were against Gain. They were against Derek Lewis, who he beat. But when you lose to Gain and then Pavlovich, he is kind of lost to his 2 best opponents. And I just think that Volkov is, I don't want to say that guy at heavyweight, but I feel as if he is much better than Tuivasa. And striking, I want to say Tuivasa, but I literally can't, because I have Volkov winning in the 2nd round. So, like, I understand why y'all are picking Tuivasa. I just feel as if he hasn't fought enough good competition, or if he has, he's lost.
I actually disagree with that very heavily. I feel like you come up against Sergey Pavlovich, who is a absolute monster if you watch him. Any outcome of a Sergey Pavlovich fight is most likely you getting knocked out by him.
Yeah, but when you get knocked out in 54 seconds, that's a little bit different than just a regular.
Derek Lewis as well, who Tai Tuivasa beat.
Yeah. Derek Lewis is washed. I'm sorry.
He's not washed at all. He's in his best shape of his life right now.
His prime. Derek Lewis is knockout highlight guy. I mean, respect Derek Lewis. He's still a monster, but he's clearly not. I mean, the flying knee last fight was something, and the Curtis Blades knockout. But other than that, he's kind of just, I'm going to absorb hits, and then I'm going to knock you out, and there's not much you can do about it. And it's not as skilled as Tuivasa's actual, like, pressure, but I just have Volkov better than Tuivasa. That's just what it boils down to. More experienced, more, like, better fighters that he's faced. His last loss was Tom Aspinall, who is a very, very, very good heavyweight. There's no shame in losing.
Oh, by far, yeah. I agree 100% with that. But
and I'm just going to toss a bet out there for you guys to just examine, give me your opinions on. I have Alexander Volkov to win, of course, by knockout, TKO, or disqualification in round 3 with odds at plus 1,000. Phil, I'll toss it to you. What do you think about that?
I mean, you know what? This fight can go either way. This fight can.
This is like the equivalent of Game 7. I'm not super sure, but you know.
Game 7.
Yeah.
What, the Heat and Celtics?
Just Game 7 in general.
Game 7
it'll go.
Okay.
Away.
Well, honestly, I do have Tai Tuivasa to win, and I honestly say it will go to round 3, and I say TKO. That's me. Yeah. That's what I feel like how he will win this fight.
All right, and
I'm also going to disagree with you here, Andrew. I'm going to say Tuivasa is going to win in round 2 by knockout TKO.
Ooh, I would love to see the line for that. But we're going to move on to middleweight, the show of the night. Israel Adesanya, the last stylebender, going up against Sean Tarzan Strickland. Ezra, I'll start with you. What do you think is going to happen?
Funny enough, me and Cameron were talking about this off air before we came on today. This fight could go one of 2 ways. It is either going to be a knockout, like a head kick knockout in the first 1 or 2 rounds, or it is going to be a sparring match the entire time, and it's going to be the most boring fight of the year. So, but it's pretty hard not to bet on Izzy for this one. Like Sean Strickland is just, I'll be the one to say it. He's not a good fighter. He loves to fight. He's good at fighting, but when it comes to actual style and like technique, he is very bad compared to one of the best one of the most technical fighters in the entire UFC history. Yeah. So I think this is an easy win for Adesanya, whether it's by decision or not knockout. I'm scared to pick between the two. Cameron, what do you think?
Like you said, this could very well be the most boring fight of the year. Izzy, obviously, other than his last 2 fights against Pereira, he kind of just takes forever. He really just is like, I'm going to counterpunch you because I have length and you can't do much about it. And I love Izzy. I think he is one of the most fluid strikers in the whole UFC. I do think that he wins, like you said. I have him in the 4th round, but that's simply because the odds are like plus 1,000, and I'm not going to pass up on that. And I could just see the first 2-3 rounds going where he just goes to sit back, counter, defensive, analyzing, and then he just, like you said, head kick or something out of nowhere, and it's going to crumple him. I have Izzy winning handily, but I'm probably going to be wrong. That's probably just my bias, but oh well.
Yeah, so Phil, I'll toss it to you real quick. Of course, Adesanya being one of the most versatile, one of the most deadly boxers, or self-serve UFC fighters. He's an ambidextrous striker. He's quick on offense and on defense. And like Orlando's tourism industry, if you're not careful, he'll hit you with this knee.
Oh my God.
I'll kick it to you. What do you think is going to happen on Adesanya's end in terms of just how he will be taking out Strickland?
Honestly, I feel like his reach will play a big part. You know, he has an 80-inch reach compared to Strickland's 76. So I feel like, you know, his reach will be a big part in this fight because, you know, he has long length. And I want to say that this fight will go all the way because, like how you said, you called it a sparring match.
Like
I feel like this fight will go all the way. It won't be very exciting. I feel like it'll be more of a like
light spar.
Like, hey, we just going because, you know, Izzy, he definitely move around a lot and he is very like fluent. He definitely, that's why they call him the style bender. But honestly, I do have Izzy winning this fight, and I say it goes scoring decision, and yeah, he's going to take it by scorecard.
Yeah. How do you think he's going to win?
I'll be. It's such a tough thing because, like I said, it's either going to be head kick knockout in like first 2 rounds, or it's going to be decision. I'm going to go decision. I think one thing Sean Strickland's talked about a lot is that he needs to wrestle, but he just said himself he chooses not to wrestle. So that's going to come back to bite him in this fight.
Yeah, so with that being said, thank you guys for joining us today. And we're going to cut right to segment 3 where we'll be talking our surefire picks of the week. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to segment 3. It's just going to be us at the desk for now. We've got our surefire picks of the week. It's just basically any sporting event going on within this week, and we're just going to be cooking up a 3-leg parlay. Last week, let's talk about that real quick. None of us would have won the parlay. We all lost at least 1 leg, but I only lost, or sorry, you guys both lost 2. I only lost 1. So if this were Prize Picks, if we did a flex, I would have at least made like a couple of cents or something.
You would have made double the money you put down, pretty much, because
something like that. But
it would like go like 0.5, then times 2, then times however much you were supposed to.
We all flopped.
LSU, you let me down, big time. I'm sorry, I have to say it.
Were you rooting for LSU or FSU?
I will never root for FSU in my life.
Yeah. I think we were all rooting for LSU, but you were doing so for different reasons.
Yeah, I'm a diehard Hurricanes fan. LSU, you let me down. I was disappointed in that game. I was watching the game like this. Okay, LSU was in there, halftime, 17-7. Okay, it's a dogfight. Oh, what happened in the third quarter? Brian Kelly, like, you know what? Hey, I need to talk to the athletic director, so ask for a job.
Okay, Phil, and I'll start off with you for your first surefire pick of the week. You've got an AFC East rivalry going on week 1. Talk to me.
So me being a Dolphins fan, of course, as you know, and it pains me to have to pick one of these teams to win, either the Jets or the Bills, but I'm going to go with the Jets in this one. So I have the Jets money line at plus 116. I have the Jets winning by 8 to 14 points at plus 543. And then I have Breece Hall anytime touchdown at plus 129. So the Jets beat the Bills last year, you know, strictly because of their defense, I want to say. They had a subpar offense. Now they beef up their offense and basically still have the same defense. Yeah, I feel like the Jets will take this one.
And I'll throw this out there just for you. Breece Hall is questionable to play. What are you going to do in that situation?
I mean, hey, questionable. He's going to play. He'll be okay.
Okay, and it's not going to affect his anytime touchdown.
No, he's going to take that shot. He's going to be okay.
It's going to be a battle of which running back for the Jets gets hurt first with him and Dalvin Cook over there. So we'll see.
They still got Michael Carter, right?
Yeah, they do. But he's not anytime touchdown scorer.
No, he's not.
And I'll jump in with mine just real quick. Also with a 0-1 record as everyone else.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Yeah. I have the Miami Dolphins beating the Los Angeles Chargers. I got you. It was going to be Phil's pick, but I was first to the board. There is plus 136 odds of Miami winning, which isn't part of my parlay, but just throwing that out there for you. Over 51 points throughout the game, just between the two teams at minus 110 odds. Dolphins money line, I'm taking that, sitting at plus 140, and Keenan Allen being an anytime touchdown scorer with also plus 140 odds.
Ezra's about that.
What do you think?
I mean, they just got Jalen Ramsey and they got Xavier Howard over there.
I don't think it's going to take time for them to get used to the new season, used to the new system, especially Ramsey.
I also think that the Chargers just got a new offensive coordinator, so who knows what he's going to plan to run with.
Got Brandon
so
Staley.
It's like, I don't know.
He did have the second best odds out of anybody to score. Keenan Allen out of the Chargers. So, I mean, I'm just like, why not?
That's
140
fair.
isn't too bad. No.
140, yeah, you're not losing too much if you miss it, but it is a good bet if you do put some money on it. I just not a believer in it.
Yeah, so unfortunately, Phil, this kind of applies to us both, but Jalen Waddle is questionable for the game. And regarding the Dolphins, especially their offense, how do you think Tua's performance is going to affect the game? And do you think he's going to go back to the MVP race, I guess, the MVP caliber player that he was last year?
You know, I mean, last year he was playing great. And, of course, you know, the whole concussion thing, but I feel like this year he said he's taking jiu-jitsu classes. I hope that helped. You know, I don't know how that was going to help with him come falling. But, yeah, that's what he said. And I don't know if you've seen him. He's a little beefy, stout. He kind of looked like me, you know. But I feel like he's going to go back to the MVP, race. You know, he had Tyreek Hill. He has Jalen Waddle. We got Braxton Berrios. I like Braxton Berrios. He's from the Miami. All about the U, baby. But, yeah, and then I feel like Raheem Mostert will play a definitely good part in our pass game because he's actually a good pass catcher. So, yeah, I say he'll be in the MVP conversation after 3 games because we play the Chargers. Then we got to play the we play the Broncos, and then we play the Bills, and then we play the Patriots. So these first 4 games will be a good testament to how our season will look.
I think we go like 3-1.
3-1?
Yeah.
Who we lose to?
Y'all definitely have a chance to lose this game.
No,
and
we
y'all
say-
definitely have a
sorry,
chance
say the 4
to
again.
lose
There-
to the
like
Bills.
the third one kind of caught me off guard.
Okay, so we have the Chargers first,
Yeah.
Patriots Sunday night. We have the Broncos, and then we have the Bills.
Oh.
There's
No,
definitely
I
a
think
chance
the
to lose to
Bills
the
are
Bills.
like the only real threat.
But
But if
Maybe
you're,
we
a belie-
flop
if you're a
one, but
The
believer,
Bills are on a decline.
2-2.
they are. I can
The
agree with
Bills
that.
are on a
2-2
decline.
at worst.
Yes.
But
Yeah, Ezra, I'll
seeing
kick it to
whether
you.
Jalen
I'll kick it
Waddle's
to
there
you
or not.
next. Another interconference rivalry between the Bengals and the Browns. What do you got?
Yes, the Battle of Ohio. I had to talk about it because we are talking the Bengals and Browns this Sunday, September 10th at 1 p.m. too, which is kind of a weird time for us to play in Ohio, but it's okay. Right now the line sits at Bengals minus 135. I'm slamming that. I do think this will be a very close game. I am kind of scared that my second thing, because I saw that the spread was at a minus 2.5, meaning the Bengals only needed to win by a field goal. I think they could do better. So I saw an alternate spread going for minus 6 at plus 169. I feel like that could earn you some money. I feel like they could definitely win by a touchdown for sure. Whether or not I can tell you the score line, I don't know, because that could literally be like a very low scoring game or a super high scoring game. Regardless, it's going to be a very close game. I also think Amari Cooper is going to be an anytime touchdown scorer this day. He's at plus 170 right now. The Bengals just lost both Von Bell and Jesse Bates. I'm not really too big believers in their secondary too much. They're starting Dax Hill and Cam Taylor-Britt, who are both second-year players. It's a scary one. It's a scary one. So I think that Amari Cooper is definitely going to connect with Deshaun Watson a little bit more and be able to carry the load a little bit to at least keep it competitive, other than Nick Chubb.
Yeah, and so ESPN is projecting the Bengals to have a 59% chance of winning this game to the Browns 41. Real quick, do you think Joe Burrow's little injury is going to affect his game at all?
No, not at all.
No.
I think he has too good of players to play against or play with. He's got Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. He can definitely get carried a little bit by them. Not carried, but like in the sense of like they can help him out a lot more, even if he's dealing with an injury.
Yeah, and with that being said, thank you, Phil, thank you, Ezra, thank you, Tyler, and thank you, Cameron, for joining us today on air. My name is Andrew Montana. This has been HTF Bets, and until next week, go Knights, charge on.
Things gon' change when I really hit the field. Undefeated champs, man, you know what's the deal. Tryna find a kid, I'm in the field doing drills. Boy, you just a sucker, you ain't never keep it real. 3 rings in my hand, I'm a warrior to the max. When I hang it up, they gon' have to give me plaques. Step up in the building and I only bring the facts. When I make a highlight, they gon' replay, run it back, okay? Always locked in, now I don't got time to lax. Saying he the best, he could take a lap. Batted 1,000 when you check the stats. Boy, is you ready? You ain't gotta ask.